Hey guys, so in this video, I'm going to compare ENFPs and ESFPs with INFPs and ISFPs, and I'm going to bring up some differences that you will not normally hear in the Myers-Briggs community. So these are things that you could pick out that is not usually talked about. So the thing is, in my last video, I was talking about how ENFPs and ESFPs, even though they're introvert feeling valuing types, they value extrovert feeling. And I said that in this video, I'm going to talk about how ENFPs and ESFPs use other functions as well, such as their introverted thinking. And I thought when I was preparing for this video, I realized this would be a good time to compare ENFPs and ESFPs with INFPs and ISFPs. So I'm going to start with how ENFPs, kind of like go back to what my last video was talking about, how ENFPs and ESFPs use extrovert feeling. Because when you contrast this with INFPs and ISFPs, ENFPs and ESFPs express a lot of extrovert feeling, whereas INFPs and ISFPs, they don't. So for the ENFPs and ESFPs, extrovert feeling is their demonstrative function. So you could kind of look at it as it is very strong, and it is not a function that they value. So it's very strong and it's something that they have to do, but it really irritates and bothers them that they have to do it. But it's like they are doomed. They are doomed to express extrovert feeling, right? INFPs, ISFPs, no. I'm an INFP, by the way, so we could shut off extrovert feeling. We actually tend to shut it off. So you could kind of, because we do this, INFPs and ISFPs may not be very good at reading a lot of social dynamics that are going on, right? Whereas ENFPs and ESFPs are very good at reading social dynamics. They have to, like, if someone approaches them and talks to them, they have to, like, really, like, engage with them, right? It's not something that they could not do. So it really bothers them, it traps them. The nature of the demonstrative is that it's very casual. And what I mean by that is that ENFJs and ESFJs, they take their extrovert feeling very seriously because they value it. Whereas ENFPs and ESFPs, even though they're very strong at it, they don't value this function. They kind of do it in their own way. They do it in a casual, less serious way. So this is what causes them to be so likable, because ENFJs and ESFJs, they're so insistent on extrovert feeling that it might like turn people off, right? Whereas ENFPs and ESFPs, they do the whole likability thing, but in such a casual fashion. Like, they don't say, oh, this has to be done, this social harmony. They don't expect it from other people, right? So that's what lends to their kind of likability. So the casual approach, I kind of like, when these types talk, ENFPs and ESFPs, I kind of like see them kind of like winking. They're kind of like, doing the thumbs up. Maybe not literally, though this actually does happen a lot. They do this kind of like stuff literally, but not necessarily. But it's as if they are, like, when they talk, it has that kind of like winking kind of flavor to it, like, hey, it's all cool kind of like flavor to it. This is kind of extrovert feeling. It really tires them. So like when I see them do this, it's like, hey, yeah, and they smile at you, and then they're like, oh my god, inside, like it's like too much for them, and they like do the winking, and they're just like kind of like really bored of doing this, like, hey, yeah, okay, yeah. So they're kind of like tired of it, right? So onto this extrovert feeling. Extrovert feeling of the ENFPs and ESFPs. This makes them very similar to ENFJs and ESFJs in that they have the same communication style. And what I mean by that is that since they're all very strong at extrovert feeling, they're passionate when they speak. They're dramatic when they speak. They're enthusiastic when they speak. They are ESFPs, ENFPs. They make great actors. And actually all four of those types, the EXFX types, they make great actors. Some of them could imitate other people very well. So like you can see like an ENFP, like they could imitate someone's expression, and I see this in ENFJs as well. But they could just like imitate how a person looks like, what kind of expression that they have, and it's really funny when they do it. Um, they're very outwardly tumultuous, kind of bipolar types. Um, so you have to look at this. INFPs, ISFPs, they aren't like this. Our communication style is not passionate. So it's very, we have a TI role function, so it's more like everything we say is like kind of, is not that passionate kind of style. And I'll give you an example. ENFPs, ESFPs, they are like an open book. So even when they talk with you, they really share their life. They really, is an outpouring of their life that they're sharing with you, right? Whereas ISFPs and INFPs are very private people. So we might share some things, but we're not like, I feel like ESFPs and ENFPs are always like TMI. So, okay. Another thing, ENFPs, ESFPs, they have an advantage is that they're introvert feeling types, but their extrovert feeling is stronger, so they could express their introvert feeling more. So that's why you think about introvert feeling as like having a valuation, a personal valuation of something. I like this, I don't like this, right? But ENFPs are and ESFPs are better at saying this than INFPs and ISFPs. So you hear them openly talk about, oh, I love this, I hate this, this bothers me. And there's in real time when you watch their speech, they're like engaged in this very passionate style. Like so, you get like kind of like enwrapped into their story of life, and it's like very exciting, and you get drawn to that, right? So that's the thing. So introvert feeling could be kind of like almost like a sexuality, right? So, but the thing is, they do it in an extrovert feeling kind of way. So they could be very good flirts, right? They're good at flirting. The other thing is that they could be kind of good at like manipulating people too, in a way. So you can look at like introvert feeling as what they actually value, right? So they value doing what they want. So there's something that they really want to do, but they have extrovert feeling, which is very strong, and they could get people they talk with them in a way that gets them to do what they want, for example. So, for example, like you can see a lot of ESFPs, they're like very good networkers, right? They could contact with a lot of people, but some of them could be kind of like manipulative in that because they kind of like use these people as an ends to accomplish their own goal, right? They might try to use extra feeling as a way they think of it as being very casual. Like they don't really value extra feeling in itself, so they kind of like see it as something that they could do as like, oh, I could win these people over, right? I just show up to an event and give a lot of gifts, and people are like, yeah, we love you, right? And then but it's almost as if there's like an aim behind it. It's not always the case. I feel like usually like in a normal type, it's like they really care about a lot of people, and that's why they express their extra feeling that way. I'm just saying, like sometimes when it's taken to an extreme, that's how it can come off as. So that is what I want to talk about. I guess one final point I want to talk about is the introvert thinking. So that's their polar function. So there's a lack of structure and stability in their life. It's like they can't like form an outline for their life. So the key word I think is that ENFPs and ESFPs, they lack parsimony. So when it comes to their own life, they lack parsimony. So they're like all over the place. They're overflowing with life. They're exhausting their resources. They can't be contained, right? They can't be contained. That's how I look at these types. So like you also like look at ENFPs asked questions such as is a hot dog a sandwich? Like they ask people questions like, is a hot dog a sandwich because they really want to challenge like typical definitions that we give things. So I think that's kind of like an inward thinking kind of thing that they do. It's like completely being unbound by structure. So you see like ENFPs, like they could do like quantum thinking, or like, when you look at quantum mechanics, the kind of like stuff involved is not bound by like structure of any sort, not bound by framework. So that is what I want to share with you.